weekend. A little bit of rain. How about you?
Good one. It was a little bit busier than I thought.
You don't
but
have
it was a good one. I did get all my homework. That's always a testament to whether or not it's a good weekend.
Be prepared to be tackled. Be somewhere.
Yeah.
Missed it. Guess it don't make any difference.
That's okay.
Computer.
Broadcasting. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. I will call the meeting to order, and if we will have invocation now by Pastor Bob Flack, and if you would all please stand for prayer. Okay.
I'd invite all of you who choose to join me in prayer. Gracious God and Heavenly Father, it is with joy that I seek your favor for those in this room who take up the urgent business of our city. Since the authority they have comes from you, give them humility and wisdom to exercise it well, and give us as citizens grace to honor their authority. Cause the Commission's decisions and the staff's actions to advance the well-being of our city. Supply the daily resources that each department needs to fulfill its duties. Protect our city from division and despair. Give success to all who work for Atchison's good, especially all those working for the Juneteenth celebrations coming up this weekend. Frustrate the plans of any who would do harm, and give your undeserved blessings to all who wait on you. I ask in the name of Jesus Christ, who died and rose again for the salvation of all who trust him. Amen.
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 Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we have one proclamation, which is Juneteenth. Okay, and we have the plaque that is here, right? And it gives me great pleasure to present the proclamation. We appreciate the Juneteenth Committee and what Juneteenth means to all of our citizens, and especially to our African American citizens. And I will read the proclamation now. Whereas for more than 158 years, Juneteenth, National Freedom Day, continues to be the most recognized African American holiday observance in the United States. Juneteenth, National Freedom Day, commemorates the survival, due to God-given strength and determination, of African Americans who were first brought to this country, stacked in the bottom of slave ships in a month-long journey across the Atlantic Ocean, known as the Middle Passage. And whereas Juneteenth commemorates the day freedom was proclaimed to all slaves in the South by Union General Granger on June 19, 1865, in Galveston, Texas, more than 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation by President Abraham Lincoln. Juneteenth was officially recognized as Juneteenth Independence Day in America by the President and Congress of the United States on June 17, 2021. And whereas Americans of all colors, creeds, cultures, religions, and countries of origin share in a common love of and respect for freedom, as well as a determination to protect their right to freedom through democratic institutions by which the tenets of freedom are guaranteed and protected. The 19th of June, or Juneteenth Independence Day, along with the 4th of July, completes the cycle of freedom for America's Independence Day observances. Until all are free, none are free is an oft repeated maxim that can be used to highlight the significance of the end of the era of slavery in the United States. And now, therefore, I, La Rochelle Young, Mayor of the City of Atchison, Kansas, do hereby proclaim June as Juneteenth Celebration Month, dated this 3rd day of June, 2024. All right. I would invite the Juneteenth committee to come as we take a picture to commemorate this time. And I would invite the commission also to come and stand with them.
Well, sure. Behind?
Do it up here or back?
What do you think? Who's best? Okay. Okay, so all of us. Yeah. Okay, all right. All right, right in the center.
See. Yeah. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good, how have you been? Good day to have you all here.
I just want to say real quickly, so you can carry on with your meeting. My name is Nicole. I go by Nicole Thomas. I'm the chairperson of the Atchison Juneteenth Committee. As you see, these are some of the members here. I just want to say on behalf of us, we are so thankful and grateful for your support of our Juneteenth celebration. We started this in 2006, and we never knew it would grow this way, but God was our foundation for this celebration, so I know because of him, this is why it has expanded to the outcome that it has expanded. And the City of Atchison, your support, your growth in the support that you gave us is just heartfelt for me. And I just thank you guys so much for backing us up, because it's something really important for this town of Atchison to have this celebration. We don't want it to be a black thing, a white thing. It's a together thing, just like my shirt, Together We Rise. So we can only do it with each other's support. So I want to tell you, our parade this year will be going through the downtown area. We're so excited about that. They had an emancipation parade back in 1921. My Aunt Verl Tyler was a little child, and she was involved in that, and they called it Emancipation Day, and we're calling it again. So please spread the word that we're going to start out at the riverfront and do the basic route that most of the parades go by Alps and on Kansas Avenue, and then go up 8th Street to the park. So we would like to see people on the downtown area to support us as we come along. So if you could, and if you want to be in the parade, you can meet us at Riverfront at 10 o'clock. Right, Audra? 10 o'clock lineup is at the Riverfront, and we'll have cars if you need a car. We walk in, whatever you like to do, but you are welcome to be there. Thank you so much.
And before you step away, I just want to tell you, Nicola, thank you so much for all that you and the Juneteenth Committee have done for the city. I can tell you when I worked for Department for Children and Families and it was in Topeka, I know several people had talked about how wonderful the Atchison Juneteenth celebration is. So
That is so
it's
wonderful.
something that not only is wonderful for Atchison, but it did go beyond Atchison's borders. So I
That is
just
so wonderful.
really appreciate that.
Thank you.
so
And
much.
because everyone knows it is free. So we try our best to keep it free, and that's why we ask so many donations, because we want to keep it free. So thank you so much, Rochelle. and
Thank
the
you
rest
for
of the
your
committee.
work.
Thank you.
Okay. After that, we will now have roll call. Tina, if you could please call the roll.
Mayor Young,
Present.
Vice Mayor Wilcox,
Present.
Commissioner Greenling,
Present.
Commissioner Murphy,
Present.
Commissioner Slattery.
Present.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tina. At this time, we will have our public forum, and I will open the public forum. Persons who wish to address the City Commission regarding items that are not on the agenda may do so at this time when called upon by the mayor. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Again, speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should give their name and address when addressing the commission. Any presentation is for information purposes only. Do we have anyone here for public forum? Seeing none, I will close public forum, and now we will go on to our consent agenda presented by City Manager Amy Finch.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission. On your consent agenda this afternoon, you have approval of the minutes of the May 20th City Commission meeting, approval of adoption of resolution number 3391, revising the City of Atchison procurement policies, authorization for a payment to Botteroff Construction in the amount of $139,611 and increasing the total project budget authority to $165,000 to cover right-of-way restoration costs for the US 73 Highway Concrete Replacement and Repairs Project, and approval of an occupational license for Service Brewing Company.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions regarding the consent agenda?
What all was changed on that procurement policies? You know, I didn't see any change there, but I didn't look real close.
If you look
to-
on page 9, the memo,
Okay.
it is an addition of section 6 called Procedures with Federal Funds. We had, in your memo, it describes a recent compliance audit for our Department of Justice grant for our body cameras. And to be in compliance with them, they maintain a list of vendors with the federal government that they do not do business with. And so they want to make sure that we have it in our policies that we will also, when receiving federal funds and for their grant, we will check our vendor or our chosen vendor against their list.
That was the only change?
That's the only change.
Okay,
Yep,
'cause
just-
I didn't see any change. I missed
Yeah,
that.
just the addition, so on page 9, under
Yeah.
where you see section 6, that is an addition.
Yeah.
And no other changes.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
Any other questions?
It's fun to read through the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as this is a roll call vote, I would entertain.
Not this one.
Oh, not this one? Oh, no, I'm so sorry. Yes. Okay, so at this point, if we don't have any other consent agenda questions, I will entertain a motion for passage of the consent agenda. Okay, how about Vice Mayor Wilcox will move and Commissioner will second? All right, wonderful. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we will have new business, and we will have presentation of ordinance number 6709 by Clinton McNamee.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. So, a little bit of backstory on why this is being presented at this point. So, maybe a month or two ago, the farmers market group approached us about changing an existing ordinance, which is the one that we're repealing tonight, or we're proposing to repeal, to align with their, we'll call it their vendor policies on what kind of merchandise can be sold. So this was something that was in the code before. After multiple back and forth kind of discussions about it, I think we kind of arrived at the conclusion that maybe it wasn't the most appropriate or efficient way to do the rules at Farmers Market, which is Atchison's Farmers Market Incorporated is the group name. Why set their policies in city code is kind of the question that we all arrived at. So then we looked at just repealing that section. Well, then if you continue to look at that ordinance 6378, it also talked about ice cream truck vendors and sundries and street vendors, which in 2021, a pretty comprehensive ordinance was passed to encompass all of that. And so it seemed to, I don't want to say it completely contradicted it, but what we're following the 2021 procedures, not the 2010 version of that. So this is just to clean up that kind of redundancy that's in the code in terms of the street vendors, mobile food trucks, things like that. And then also to repeal the section that's sort of governing what the farmers market group is doing with their farmers market programming, which as a staff recommendation, I would say that's something that could be better handled sometime in the future with like an agreement, a memorandum of understanding, something like that, versus us changing an ordinance to align with their internal policies.
Okay. Hey, commissioners, any questions?
Nobody on that farmers market committee sees any possible loopholes that somebody can start selling something there that would be inappropriate?
No, I think the original concern stemmed from another farmer's market in another city where the farmer's market group, they did not align with what was in a city code, and they changed a rule. A vendor didn't agree with it, and the vendor went and researched the city code and found out they could, by city code, sell it there. And so that was what the reasoning was. It was specific to this concern was, I guess I would call it non-food or non-organic items. Example I always think of, because I think this was the issue back in 2010 when it was talked about, was candles. There was a vendor that made homemade candles, and they were talking about allowing that. And so there's something, it doesn't specifically say candles, but it's something like homemade goods or organic goods, something like that's how it's worded. But this current farmers market group is trying to steer more towards food items, not, I think they have limited spaces, and so they're wanting to get as many vendors in there that are selling the produce and those type of items versus non-food items. That makes any sense.
Is that will be then controlled by them, and we won't have any say over what they sell at all?
So yeah, the way I kind of look at it is
codified anyway.
That Atchison Farmers Market Group, they program to be there twice a week, right? Wednesdays and Saturdays, and they do all the coordination. That's so I would say that's up to them of what vendors they allow in and types of products. If you were to have a special event permit there for a flea market or something on any other time of the year, I think it would fall back to our existing ordinances and things, and that's how we would control it that way. Are you saying, are you concerned that they might start wanting to sell something that the city?
No, I'm a pretty firm believer that farmers market is kind of a collection of people who either grow it or they create it. And I just don't think I don't think the city should be able to control that, because that should be an internal thing, which is what we're basically doing. Am I right?
Yes.
We're making it an internal thing for them and taking us kind of out of the mix, right?
That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Okay, and that's probably more beneficial to everybody.
All right. Any other questions, commissioners? Okay. Okay. All right. At this point, I would entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 6709 via roll call vote. Is there a motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, so Commissioner Greenlee moved, is that correct? And then Commissioner, you will second? Okay, all right. Tina, if you could please call the roll?
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Slattery,
Yes.
Mayor Young,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilcox,
Yes.
Commissioner Green.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, motion passed. Thank you very much. Second, item number 2, we have the interim city manager contract. And at this point, as you know, we will have Mr. Clinton McNamee will be serving as our interim city manager. And as you can see in your packets, we have, and I'll tell you what page that is on, pages 36 through 40, you'll see his contract there. Our city attorney, Mr. Campbell, has looked this over, and Bob, do you have anything that you would like to highlight at this time? Okay. Commissioners, do you have any questions at this point?
Just one. Is
Sure,
there
Commissioner Murphy?
a limit on how long this contract can last?
December,
Okay,
it says that in there.
okay.
Yes.
I was just, I did read it, I just wanted it
Sure.
vocalized for the public, that it has a limit through December or until we hire. And
That's correct, I think, December 31st.
yeah. that's fine.
Yeah, is that right?
I wasn't questioning it.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Any other things that commissioners would like to highlight before we vote on this contract? Okay.
Well, we just need, I move we accept the contract?
Yes, I need a motion.
I'll do that.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we accept the contract for interim city manager for Mr. Clinton McNamee. All those in favor, please voice by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. McNamee. Thank you. All right, at this point, we will have communications presented by City Manager Amy Finch.
You've got one item in your communications this afternoon. It is a thank you letter from Senator Moran. He was here recently to announce the awards for the congressionally directed spending, of which we received monies for our CSO projects as well as our airport project. So we just put that in there for you to see.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions for Amy? Okay. If not, seeing that we do not have any other informational items, we will move to governing body comments, and we'll start with Commissioner Murphy.
I just have a couple questions to put before us as we're building our new runway out at the airport, which I'm tickled about. Finding out a little bit of information, and I'm no engineer, which is pretty obvious, but my understanding is there is not going to be a taxiway. Am I correct about that? Parallel taxiway. Okay. And the other, I don't know that it makes that much difference, but I have had pilots bring it to my attention. And I know that there's only so much money, but it would appear that would certainly make it safer. not solving the problem here, just bringing it up. And the other thing is that the elevation is 20 feet lower than our current elevation.
Don't know what the difference between the current one.
Well, my understanding, I'm not a pilot either, but these are things that simpleton like myself could question is, we're gonna have to go from where the airplanes come out of their hangars to the runway, they have to go down a ramp. 20 feet. That seems, and like I said, I haven't seen the plans personally, although I'd like to. Those seem like things that you would correct, and, you know, that it would be all, that we wouldn't cut, it wouldn't bring up more problems, because that's, not having a taxiway from just a guy looking at it, looks like that's more dangerous than what we have, or did have.
Is there currently a taxi anywhere?
About half the way. About half the way. Goes south.
So the new runway's got the, call it turnarounds at the ends,
Right.
where a parallel would eventually connect. In the master plan to have a parallel. In our long-term CIP requests, we've had some conversations about what's the likelihood of the airport getting another sizable chunk of federal funding to build a parallel taxiway. It's probably something that's not going to happen in years unless the funding can always change. We've got entitlement funding that we get. Well, we've had these conversations. It doesn't seem like it's a likely thing.
I mean,
the next 2 or 3 years, maybe more
I
like
would think
the
that would be,
5 to 10 year range. As far as the elevation changes, I want to, for whatever reason, 1,070 sticks in my head for the, what is it, the official elevation?
It was 1,071.
Is the current runway.
Current one.
However,
It will be 1,051.
it changes from one end to the other and from the middle to the both ends. It's not a single plane of elevation. It's got either got a hump. Yeah, it's a hump. It's
I
got
knew
in the
we
middle of
had
it.
a valley in the old one.
Yeah.
Current one.
Yeah.
Can't see the end of.
That's correct. That's what I meant. I've taken off from it. So I just, new is always good, but you always also want to make sure that new is safer than the one we had dealt with. And I'm just throwing it out there for a little bit of investigation. And somebody can come up and tell me that I'm an idiot, which I've had happen, I suppose. But I just think we ought to look at this as, is this going to be an issue that we didn't foresee or FAA didn't? Not having a taxiway, because you're going to spend $10 million or so, and to get on the runway, you're going to have to go to the middle of the runway, go left or right, depending on the.
Well, I would
And
say
that, on an active runway, just doesn't make safe science.
I would say it was definitely a conscious decision at all levels, whether it be the FAA consultants, the city, the airport advisory board. It was it's not something like, oops, we forgot a parallel taxiway, but it's just cost prohibitive at this point. Because I asked about using, or we've got, within a couple of years, we'll have, I think it's up to $1 million of, it's a combination of entitlement and bill funding, bipartisan infrastructure law funding. And so it doesn't even necessarily require what I would call true discretionary requests. And I'm like, I asked our consultant, what's it going to take to build this parallel taxiway? I hate to repeat that number because I don't remember, but I think I was way off from thinking that $1 million or anywhere in that range was going to cover it. I think it's 3+ that. So it was either don't do the project or
Well, and
have to cut that part out.
I understand.
All the grading is accounting for it. So if that day comes, it'll be mostly a pavement project.
That's all in process right now.
What's that?
Well, that's going on currently, is that correct?
The grading?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So turning backwards is unlikely?
yes.
Yeah. So,
And then our Airport Advisory Committee was fine with the way the project is moving forward now, and especially with the parallel taxiway, were they pretty much unanimous in their decision?
It's not really that they decided to cut something like that. They would all vote if there was a choice to have it. I think that they did vote to pursue this new runway project, knowing that there was not a parallel taxiway included with that.
Okay.
There's been, there's other concessions that, if you want to call them that. At one point, the FAA told us that we weren't because we were originally planning to leave the original, redo 2/3 of it so that it would match up with the new one and have crosswind runway. The FAA kind of in the middle of this midstream told us, hey, you're not justified to have 2 runways. And we're like, okay, you already approved this on our master plan. And then they basically said, well, you just don't justify us to fund 2/3 replacement of your existing. Like, okay, what now? They said, well, you can abandon 1634. Immediate thought was that's the prevailing, that's the north-south runway, which is common. And I went to the advisory board. We talked about it. Of course, they're mostly made up of pilots. I'm not. The benefit of having the new runway outweighs loss of the wind coverage, basically. So we proceeded with abandoning 1634. So, I mean, they wouldn't have chosen that as option A, but when you're presented as only a certain limited amount, either have the project or don't, there's some things you have to.
And I understand that, but I think it should be something we should focus on. Not my tenure here, but have that be an element, because
It is. It's on our CIP.
two-way traffic on a one-way street. Could be. And it's frightening to me. And I'm not even a pilot. I don't think we want to have people avoid our airline or our airstrip because I would call it a safety hazard, but that's not for me to decide.
And if you would like, I could reach out to one of the pilot or the FBO and kind of ask them their take on how much safer is it to have. What are their concerns about not having a parallel right now?
does anybody have any
That would
estimate
make the most
of
sense.
how many airplanes come in and out of there on average a day?
If you go to it's changed quite a bit in the last few years, but I would say if you're in the few thousand operations, so that's landings and takeoffs together a year, probably close. We've had some additional temporary aerial sprayers that have been operating out there, so that ratchets the number up quite a bit. But if this was 10 years ago, I would have told you it was closer to like 1,500 or something, is what we used to post on websites like AirNav.
Yeah.
And so I'd say
Five a day?
we're up in the.
Yeah, and they have radio.
Did you say a day or a year? Sorry.
Less than 5 a day? 365 into 1,500?
Yeah.
We don't have any accurate way to track that. So that was just.
I mean, it's not like
based on-
it's not like KCI, there's one coming in, there's one going out.
No, no.
Coming in, there's one going out.
If it's spray season, it kind of seems like that sometimes. If that's something that anybody's ever super curious about, they do make counters that we put out there and light beam every time.
K-9 Aviation. There's a lot of questions about why airports and why.
I think it's based on some self-reporting though, so
Yeah, that's the best.
Okay. Would commissioners be interested in possibly a workshop on this subject?
Madam Mayor.
What am I going to tell the FAA?
You
Well,
know,
I do-
I'm of the opinion the FAA wouldn't approve this if in fact they thought it was a hazard. So who am I to question FAA? And if they approved it to take place and spend the money, invest in the airport and runway, then who are we to say that it's not? That's my
I would
opinion.
caution us by using the word it's unsafe.
Because I believe I agree with Commissioner Greenlee. I think that they would not have approved any of this if they felt that it was unsafe. Is that correct, Mr. McNamee?
I would agree with that. You know, all this is designed per their specifications, and yeah, there are elements that make the project. I don't. Like I said, I struggle to say the word safer as well, but the parallel taxiway is listed or identified in our. When I say CIP, I don't mean our city CIP. It's not. I don't think it's shown in the next 5 years, but the ACIP, which is what we submit every year, usually January, to the FAA, we would have submitted it. I can go back and look at it. I don't remember everything off the top. I don't like the sound of my own voice, Tina.
Very nice. Real time. Okay, very good.
We've got our answer right there.
Yeah.
But it's shown on that, and I believe it's in the 5 to 10 year range. So it's something that's there. And like I said, it would have gotten scooted up earlier, but I think after some conversations that we'd had with the FAA, we felt that was probably not going to be successful. So, but yeah, it's accounted for. It's something that we will eventually work toward. We just don't have it at the moment. Like, this might be, we're talking about when it's all said and done, around a $13 million runway project that 5 years ago we were talking about $5 million. So that $13 million, that's just the construction. It's not talking about land acquisition, easements, and the design contract. And that.
Okay, anything further, Commissioner Murphy?
No.
Okay, all right, wonderful. All right, Commissioner Slattery, ending comments?
I don't have anything at all that I can think of. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, great. Vice Mayor Wilcox?
Good luck to Clinton, and hope we can move forward with the permanent resolution to the city manager position and get you back to where you do so well. And good luck to Amy, and thank you for everything that you've done for us. I think this is your last meeting, is that correct?
Yeah, last city commission meeting.
Thank you, and appreciate all you've done.
Thank you.
Ditto that.
Anything further? Commissioner Greenlee?
I echo Commissioner Wilcox's comments and thank Clinton for stepping up and volunteering to, not volunteer, but stepping up and fill that void for a period of time until we can secure another city manager. And Amy, it's been good working with you, and wish you the very best in your new venture.
Thank you.
Whatever it might be. And if you're ever in the area, stop by and see us.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Amy, it has been a pleasure getting to know you. I have really appreciated all of your hard work, your dedication, your loyalty to the city of Atchison, the commissioners, We really appreciate you. You will be sorely missed.
Thank you.
And I wish you the very best. And like Commissioner Greenlee said, please definitely stop in.
I will do that.
Yes, enjoy our history
Yes.
as you have,
Yes.
and just really appreciate you. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Clinton, thank you for stepping up. We appreciate you and your wealth of knowledge that you bring to the table and bring to bear, and we are here for you, but we really appreciate you, and I have every confidence that you will do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
All right. Additionally, I just also, Clinton, want to thank you for all of the hard work that you have put in on the airport project. It is something that I think will benefit the city of Atchison. It's something that has been sorely needed, and it's something that I believe has the potential to attract other businesses. And as I'm sure everyone is aware, we definitely want to and make sure that industries are attracted to our city so that we can continue to have a good economic basis. And I, for one, believe that an airport is a part of that vision. So thank you for that.
Don't forget our current businesses that have the opportunity to expand.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we want our businesses to expand and to utilize the airport. So yes, thank you, Clinton.
Score one for Clinton.
Absolutely. All right, anything further, commissioners?
Well, I hope it's a great day for Juneteenth,
Oh,
this
that is
weather-wise.
right.
Everybody has fun and very safe, fun event. They have a big crowd.
Absolutely, absolutely. I echo Commissioner Wilcox, because yes, please come out for Juneteenth. This is a fantastic, again, it's a fantastic event. It's an event that Atchisonians love, but it's also an event that I have heard from Topeka, from Overland Park. There are people from all over that come and enjoy. So again, Juneteenth celebration beginning Friday, June 7th through Sunday, June 9th. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn to workshop. Is there a motion to adjourn?
moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second it.
Okay, all those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. We are adjourned to workshop. Thank you.
Thank you.